Welcome back to Old Eagle Garage. I'm getting ready to start a series of tool reviews. Now they're not going to be high-end tools. Matter of fact, they're going to be just the opposite. I'm going to buy the cheapest tools on the shelves at different places like Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, and we're going to try them out. I'm not going to do anything crazy test or anything on them or try to destroy them. I'm just going to put them through like a DIY project. Simulated, I should say. I'm not going to actually do a project, but we'll go through what the typical use is for, whatever that tool is, put it through its paces a little bit to see if it's something that you could depend on if you can't go out and buy that high-end tool or that high-end drill or whatever that might be. You've got, the yellow brand, red brand, light blue brand tools, and they're quite expensive. They're good quality tools, but they're expensive. So not everybody out there can just go get in their pocket and drop hundreds of dollars on a cordless drill. But somebody might be able to go to a place like Harbor Freight, pick up a cheap drill off the shelf, get them through a weekend DIY project. So that's what we're going to test today. And then we're probably going to be doing this a little bit more in the future. I've got some other tools in mind, but I'm going to need your help on this. If you have a tool that you've been looking at or something that you're just curious about, and it can be any kind of tool, I'm pretty open to testing a wide variety of tools. Let me know what that tool is, where to find it, and maybe I'll make a video on it and let you know what I think. And you'll be able to see, the results for yourself. This will all be done right here on video. Any setup that I'm going to do prior to the video, I'm going to do with a different tool. I'm not going to use that tool. So when you see it come out of the box, it's unused. So I don't want you to think, well, this is just a setup or he's just trying to make us think that this tool is great when it's not. You'll see it all. So you'll see, I'll have to charge batteries beforehand. So I'll have to get that stuff out of the packaging, get it charged. But as far as the tool itself, these are unused, brand new tools off the shelf. The first time you see them used is when you see it used on camera. It's like I said, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to destroy this tool. I'm just going to use it. I'm going to see how it responds to being hot, how long the battery life is. And be sure and stick around to the end. We're going to be talking about a giveaway. It's coming up. So we're going to be giving away a tool, some gift cards. So I want you guys to be involved in that, and I want you to be able to get all the information you need to be able to enter for it. So stick around. All right, let's check out this drill. Like I said, I have opened it already, okay? Has not been used, but I did open it because I had to charge the battery to get ready for the video. So we'll go ahead, just kind of see what you can expect when you buy this tool. That's it. Doesn't come with a case or anything like that, guys. Like I said, this is probably as bottom of the line as you're going to get. What is this? I'm not much of an instruction guy. Okay. This is the first time I had it out of that package. I just, like I said, I got the battery out earlier, and that is it. It doesn't feel real bad in your hand. It's not heavy or anything. You can tell it's a cheaper tool, but let's see here. So the battery is just a little bitty, cute little guy here. And then this is the charger, wall charger. It plugs in right here. Little red light comes on and turns green. At least it does in this model. If you have a little earlier model or later model, maybe it's different. I don't know. But turns green when it's charged. So this battery just clicks in, just like a lot of cordless drill does. Well, that engaged pretty good. It's not loose or anything. Let's see how easy it comes off there. Not too bad. Yeah, already better than I thought it was going to be, guys. Okay. Also has a little light. I don't know how well that's coming across on camera. Maybe see it up here. All right. Okay, so I can hold the chuck when it's on the drill mode, which for this should be the strongest, most torque that it's going to put out. But I kind of expected that. 12-volt drills don't have a ton of torque, but really, that's not that bad, guys. Okay, but we'll put it through its paces a little bit, heat it up a little, and we'll see what it does. Now let's look at these drill bits. Forgot the price on these. They were under $6, I think. Let's take a look here. Let's see here. Well, these don't look too bad. I do like the hex shank on there. That's a little reminiscent. I've got some DeWalt drill bits that are like that, and I use them in my smaller impact, and they're really easy to change out. So I don't know if that's what they were going for, something like that, but that's what they remind me of. And of course, each of them has the dimensions of the drill bit right down here on the shank. Okay, well let's get started on some testing. All right, first test we're going to do with the Warrior 12-volt drill, cordless drill, is pretty simple. Be something that you do on a weekend. If you're gonna be running in a lot of screws, you know, fixing some decking or whatever, something like that, or anything. Okay, the primary use you're going to be doing is running in some screws. Now these are probably a little bit bigger screws than what somebody would just use around the house, but I thought it'd be a good test. This is just an old piece of trim that I had laying around, fairly thin. So it shouldn't need a lot of force, and it shouldn't require a powerful drill to form these tasks. So there's 10 of them. I'm gonna go through, run them all down, and then I'm gonna come back and run them all back up. And we'll just kind of see how it does. All right, go ahead and get started here. It is on forward. I will let you know, I didn't find a Warrior Phillips head bit, so I'm using, this is actually a DeWalt brand bit. Really has nothing to do with the test other than I needed it. Okay, so let's get started. All right, that didn't need a lot. It may have looked like I was pressing down a lot. I really wasn't. So I'll just use one hand this time. You guys can see. That didn't seem too bad. Now, that one was with the trigger fully engaged. So we'll do the rest of them like that. It does wobble quite a bit. Whoops. And I'm not putting any more pressure down on this drill than I would any other drill. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to really force it down there to make it look like it's weak, or not force it to make it look like it's stronger than it is. It's just what if I was going to use a higher end drill, I'm using the same method, the same technique. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. I'll say just put my hand over the back. That doesn't feel warm at all yet. But I wouldn't expect it to, just based on that alone. You know, this is a small, fairly thin piece of trim. All right, just first impressions. I can kind of smell it a little bit, that plasticky smell, you know, that new tool plasticky smell when you first use it. But it doesn't feel hot, and it doesn't feel like it's dragging yet, you know, like the battery's giving out on me or anything. So let's move on to a little bit. We've got a 2-inch board here. Let's move on and kind of put it through a little bit more of a test with a little bit heavier duty material. All right, next test up for the 12-volt drill will be a 2-inch, and this is treated lumber, a little bit more sturdy material than the trim by a lot. Also, before I did not specify what kind of screws I was using. These are multi-purpose Phillips head 2.5-inch screws. So it would be something that somebody would use for a wide variety of projects around the house. Okay, again, have a DeWalt Phillips head bit in there. Got it on forward. So now we're just going to go through. I'm going to run them all down and then come right back and run them all up. And we'll kind of see how hot it gets and if the battery lasts. I can already tell the drill is struggling more running it through this 2-inch board. And I'm not sinking them down into the wood. All right, let's send them right back up. Yeah, I can feel the little heat coming off of it now, where that I didn't feel that before, but it's still not bad. It didn't seem to me like when I was using it that it was getting hot and underperforming. It's just heavier material is going to be a lot for a 12-volt drill, but that handled that very well. Now, obviously, if you're going to run 100 of these down and back up, that's a whole different story. I don't know how realistic that is, though. But I just wanted to show you that, you know, you can still use a decent size screw, and this drill will perform. Don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a high-end tool. Something like this could get you by. This fuzzy little guy here is Norman. Some of you already know him. If you've seen some of my other videos, he's been in them. He likes to ride in the truck a little bit. Sometimes he likes to ride in the truck, not every time. Loves his toys. He would love for me just to give it to him right now. But he'll run off over into the corner and just chew the fire out of it if I give it to him. He probably the sweetest dog I've ever had. Really sweet. Loves people, loves other animals a lot. Very affectionate. And he was a rescue. We think he's about 4 now. He was about 3 when we got him. And if it wasn't for Music City Animal Rescue, he would not be here, no doubt. He was super skinny. He probably weighed 15 pounds when they found him on the street. His hair was really, really grown out, like extremely malnourished. You know, he weighs a little over 30 pounds now, so you can imagine at 15 pounds, he was just skin and bone. But local shelter there found him, picked him up. They knew he was going to need a lot of vet care. I guess the shelter there wasn't financially prepared for that. So Music City Animal Rescue down in the Nashville area rescued him from them. They took him in, they got him medical care. He had to be medically shaved by a vet. Once that happened, they treated him, and he started coming around. Put on a little bit of weight, and then they put him up for adoption. We found him online and drove down to Nashville and picked him up. He brightens up our lives, don't you? Yep. I hope we brighten up his a little bit. I said all this so you guys can meet him. If you get a chance, look up Music City Animal Rescue. They have a Facebook page, and I'll also put down in the description a link to their website. They need donations. You know, they pay for a lot of animals' medical bills that come to them, and that stuff's not cheap. So if you find it in your heart and you got the money, I know they would appreciate it so much. Even if it's a couple dollars, they would really appreciate it. If you're not in a financial situation to be donating to them, hey, I completely understand that too. I've been right where you are. But following them on Facebook, sharing their posts, letting other people be aware of them and what they do and what their mission is, will help them out also. So just wanted to share that with you. If you get an opportunity, visit them. And Norman wants his raccoon here so he can go chew on it and probably take a nap, I'm guessing. So, all right, thanks guys. Back to the video. All right, next thing we're gonna do is just gonna drill some holes into this very thin galvanized piece of trim here. We're just gonna go down through, I don't know, we'll probably drill 10 holes down through here, just until it gets to the wood. Kind of want to see how these bits perform, how the drill holds up to it. We do have it on screw, and we've kept it on that setting. We wanted max torque through this whole thing, so I kept it on that setting. And we'll see how it does here. All right, let's get started. All right, that went through. All right, I had to apply quite a bit of pressure to get it to bite. That one was a little bit better. It is walking just a tad, but if you were to punch that first just a little bit and give yourself a spot to start so it wouldn't walk, it'd probably help. You wouldn't have to put near as much pressure on the drill. If you punched it first. Hold on. We're sliding off here. Gotta fix it. There we go. Two, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that was 10. Let's do a few more. We'll see what this does. Okay, that's 15. Drill bit has very little wear, if any, on it. It seemed like it was cutting through there really good. Little bit of heat coming off the motor, but not bad. I do smell it a little bit, but that a lot of new tools have that smell when you first use them. Let's get a look here. These holes. I mean, not bad, pretty clean cuts really into this metal. And this is very, very thin galvanized metal, but so it shouldn't struggle going through there, and it really didn't. Had to put some pressure down to get it to bite, but once it did, it did. Yeah, not bad. I would say that would meet some, someone's needs for a DIY weekend project. The drill bits anyway. And for as cheap as they are, if you burn through a couple doing a project, not the end of the world either. You're not gonna sit down and cry like I would if I ruined my expensive bits. So, all right, let's move on to the next thing. Next thing we're gonna do is run in some lag bolts. Now these aren't very large. These are a quarter, I believe, 2.5 inch. So what I'm going to do first is, just like you would at home, I'm going to start with a pilot hole. So we'll do 10 starting out. We'll do 10 in a line right here. I'll do 10 pilot holes, change over my to my socket, and then we'll run down the 10 lag bolts. We'll just kind of see how it performs. Now, my opinion, a 12-volt drill is probably not the best thing to do to run in lag bolts. I'm not a carpenter though, so what do I know? But I would probably go for something heavier. But again, we're talking about you're in a pinch, you need a tool that will get you through a weekend project or something like that, and can this do it? So that's what we're testing. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's 1, 2, 3. You guys can count. I'm not going to keep doing it out loud. Maybe it was just me. It did feel like that drill bit was bending just a little bit. And I wasn't putting just a ton of pressure on there. All right, let's start running these lag bolts down. That did not seat all the way. Yeah, I think the drill is probably already. All right, so my overall opinion is I would trust this drill for a weekend project. Something I just thought of while I was using it. Clean her off just a little bit, she deserves that. Okay, is that, throw it in a toolbox, you could take it with you, keep it in your truck toolbox, you're not gonna worry that much about it. But you got somebody that's, hey, you got a drill I can borrow? But sure do. Have you heard of the Warrior 12 volt? And loan this out instead of your, nice drill. So I would trust that drill, and I would use it. But I think more impressive than the drill and how well it did is the Warrior hex shank drill bits. They did really well. And I didn't use all of them, I only used 2 sizes, but I can't imagine that if those two performed pretty well, that the rest of them would too. So yeah, even if you're not interested in the drill, check out the drill bits. They're under $6, I think. They're like $5 something, between $5 and $6, something like that. So you're probably asking why are you going through the trouble of doing a review on a drill other people have done? And I've seen those reviews and they were good. I think what I wanted to do was just show you that under normal circumstances and normal things that you might do with the drill, it'll perform just fine. Could I take it and throw it across the floor and let it hit the concrete and bust and see if it'll still work? Yeah, I could do that. I don't think any of my higher end drills are going to perform very well if I do that to them either. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me to do that kind of stuff. Also, not everyone can buy the yellow drill, the red drill, the light blue drill. I think we forget that sometimes. You know, over a long period of time, over years and years and years, I'm older now, I've acquired tools, but I remember what it was like first starting out, wanting to get involved in some automotive work or DIY around the house and not being able to because I didn't have the tools and I didn't have the money to go buy it. And then I had maybe people barking in my ear saying, well, you've got to buy this brand, and if you don't use this brand, they're all junk, so you got to use this brand. And none of that's true, guys. None of that is true. You can buy a cheaper tool, save your money, buy a cheaper tool that'll get you through your projects that you need to get done and save your money. And then later, start building your tool supply up, your tool inventory up with higher end tools. You know, as you get older, as your financial situation improves a little bit, you don't have to go in debt to work on your truck, to work on your house, to go help your family out at their house or whatever, and fix stuff for them. Cheap tools, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't let people make you feel bad for having a toolbox full of cheaper tools. Did it for years, never had an issue, okay? So, I trust it, I would use it, absolutely. Now let's talk about this giveaway. So, the dates will be down below, but also you can check out all the official rules on the Visit Community tab on my YouTube page. It's going to have the dates, what you can win, and how to do it. There's going to be a couple ways to enter. It also discusses the no purchase necessary rule that's in there. But before I kind of tell you what the giveaway is, I do want to say you will not purchase anything. You will not be asked by me to purchase anything. So what you win and shipping it to you is completely covered by Old Eagle Garage. So no one will reach out to you, on behalf of me anyway, asking you to pay for anything. Hey, you won, but you got to pay shipping. That's going to be if something like that happens, that's a scam. So this is zero cost to the winner or winners, okay? So no one's gonna ask you for money. If that happens, it's a scam, ignore it, report it, whatever you gotta do, okay? Also, this is going to be done primarily through email. We're not going to use the comment section or anything like that in YouTube. However, I would appreciate some comments along the way, some feedback. That's how I learn going forward and what I know that you want and are looking for out of the content. Also, liking the video and sharing it, that all helps. That's all great. And I really appreciate when somebody does that. But you won't be entering through the comment section on YouTube. We're not going to do that. We're going to avoid that actually as a way to enter into a contest. The big reason is because of scammers. They're out there. And I don't want people targeted. I don't want anybody targeted, but I definitely don't want my viewers targeted through scams. So down below you'll see the email address that you'll need to send the entry to. It's going to be really simple, guys. Your first and last name, what contest you're entering. This will, it'll say something like a Warrior 12 volt drill contest or something like that. And you'll send that email. I'll send a reply saying, hey, got your entry, you're entered to win, and you're going to be assigned a number. Pretty easy. So first and last name, an address on where you want the items sent to if you win, and that's it. If you win, you'll be notified by me, either by email or phone number if you choose to put one down. And I'll also probably do not a Facebook Live. I'll probably do a YouTube Live event or something like that and announce the winner or winners. Okay. So pretty easy. If you want the alternate method, which would just be sending it through the mail, you can find that again on the Visit Community tab on my YouTube page. Okay. So let's go through. So first prize winner in this is going to get the Warrior 12 volt drill along with the drill bits. Okay. Now it's going to be the drill and the drill bits that I used today. I'm sorry, that's just the way it's going to be. But along with that, you're going to get a $50 Harbor Freight gift card. Also, there's going to be 2 runners up. Both of them will get a $25 Harbor Freight gift card sent to them. Again, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything other than send the email saying you want to be entered into the contest. That's it. You win. This gets shipped out to you along with the $50 Harbor Freight gift card, or if you're a runner-up, you get a $25 Harbor Freight gift card. So I look forward to seeing the entries. Again, I'll put the dates back down here again so you can kind of see how long you have. It'll run for a little while. That way give people a chance to enter, watch the video and enter and things like that. So also be on the lookout for anything in the future. We're going to do more giveaways. It's something that I'm actually kind of excited about doing. And so maybe I'll even try to think out of the box a little bit about some stuff to give away. I don't know. We'll come up with something. And if you have an idea, I'd love to hear it. Just drop me a comment down in the video. I read them all and I'll respond to you too. So I really appreciate you watching the video today. Like it. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, it doesn't cost you a dime. Hit the subscribe button. You'll see the new content coming out. It's not just tools, cars, and stuff like that. We do a lot of different stuff on the channel, so there should be quite a bit of content that you like. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Good luck in the contest. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.